Do we want to talk about Sci Guy first or Lindsey first?
I want to get to freaking Lindsey because we kind of it's not that I won't get to it, but yeah. Here, one sec. Let me blank the screen here real quick. Make sure my Twitter's open.
Oh, if you're gonna keep doing the research about the Sci Guy stuff, uh, literally all of his victims talked about it on Tumblr. So if you have a blog, it should be easy to find.
Oh
I
yeah, no, trust me, there's been a lot to look through.
let's see.
Luckily, they all provided very thorough evidence.
Okay, because we have a lot of
We're getting to
accusations.
do.
Yeah, we don't. And I talked to Sheldon. He's like, yeah, we're still waiting for the evidence. There's a lot of testimony and enough to take people at their fucking face value, but I'd like more if I could, if there is more.
I'll see what I can find.
Okay.
I'd be happy to help. All I have is word of mouth and the Kiwi Farms thread.
I've seen that, and I wasn't strong enough, and I think they even said it like, man, we should have done more because old boy is still floating around.
Isn't he on? Babe, what's the new username he uses?
We got it. We'll get to that in a
Yeah.
heartbeat. Okay. Let me just make sure that I've got everything up and running. Close OBS or
I always forget.
close it, but
I'm nerding in your comments. Or your
indeed.
life.
All right. Oh, lol. Huh. So let's get to this right now. Um, actually, I should have put that in a couple of rooms. Lindsey Ellis, for everyone who doesn't know, winded up making a remark where, she's like, lol, you guys just need to get over that we're shipping Beetlejuice with Lydia or something along those lines. We'll read it off so we don't, straw man anybody.
Oh, cool, I don't have to do it.
Yeah. Paste. No, I don't have a problem reading off Lindsay's stuff. But
Oh no, I meant like posting it in my room.
oh, where the hell did it go?
Icarus, I appreciate you.
Indeed. Rouge Patch here. You DM'd it to me, right?
DM'd what?
Oh, the Lindsay Ellis thing. There we go. There we
Hmm.
are. All right. Reading. Anyways, I was rewatching some of the cartoons last night, and it's like, yeah, these two are 100% coded as a couple, like asexual couple, where they give off a strong couple energy. So, of course, this is considered as an acceptable ship in a niche fandom. But then came the musical. So far so good, yeah?
Yeah, at first it doesn't seem like such a bad thread.
Yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay, yeah. Look, are they bros? Absolutely. They're absolutely, dead in the dust shit. And fans of the musical come in flavors. The shippers and everyone else. And because everyone else is a series of businesses anyways, there's a lot of musical fans that are horrified by people who ship Beetlejuice and Lydia. We've got block lists, we've got angry Tumblr posts. No, that's what this is. So you have their
Relatively.
relatively, yeah, stupid, relatively chill segment of the cartoon fan shippers who have been minding their own business for the last 30 years, currently caught in the crossfire of the Beetlejuice shipping wars of 2019, which I didn't know was a thing. On the side, you have your ship is so problematic, it will literally kill children sect of the other, and I know the difference between shipping and real life. Fandom should be a safe space to explore taboos and stop kink sheeping me crowd. I
If your kink is a child having sex with an adult, that's not a kink. That's
or a demon.
pedophilia.
I mean, I also realize it's not realistic. I probably really would not have slept kink there. Holy crap. Um if you're a teenager, are you a teenage girl? Are you likely to fantasize about demons? Sure. I don't know. Maybe you shouldn't fantasize about teenagers fantasizing about demons. Maybe
Like,
maybe not.
I'd also like to point out that a lot of people in my generation who were victims of sexual predation were groomed with, like, fanfics of young characters being with adults, or art. Like, I've come across, in the past year and a half of, like, getting into the pedo-busting section of drama, a lot of people who have been groomed with Fulcon, or with Cubyif, or with, like, Lolicon or Shotacon, where it's like, oh, they showed me this artwork, and apparently if this exists, that means it's normal and okay. So,
I could take it a step further.
go for it.
I mean, this is Anthony being a troll. Please don't take this too seriously, class. But I mean, Beetlejuice is already kind of a fat, disgusting, gross kind of person, and you know, if you're able to sexualize and make that appealing to the younger crowd, that's not a lot of heavy lifting if you're a predator.
Ooh, Anthony.
What?
Come
I
on.
like Beetlejuice, I do, but I'm just saying, like, you know, it's just some fat, sweaty guy shows up. Come on, babe, I even smell like you imagine he'd smell, right? Anyways, continuing on.
You're disgusting,
Well,
dude.
we're talking about Beetlejuice. What'd you think was gonna happen? He was gonna come in smelling like fine potpourri. Anyways, yeah, I remember the cartoon, which got away with an awful goddamn lot. I saw a cartoon reviewer talking about it. Well, a lot of the perversion got removed. A lot, but not all. I mean, he did call her babes a lot. He did seem kind of flirty. Not too much for a cartoon, because I've grown up with cartoons getting away with shit, but whatever. Personally, I feel in the grand scheme of things, I guess normalizing the sexualization of a child and teenage girls on Tumblr shipping a century-old murder demon and a 15-year-old girl is low priority. Okay. I think there's a bit of a difference if someone, like, I probably would have liked to have asked Lindsay, do you mean if someone, like, shows them holding hands and draws, like, the Valentine heart around them versus, you know...
Porn.
Yes! Lewds. You know what? You want to make them look cute together? Or, you know, maybe where Lydia's like, kind of like, where they still kind of look cute together? Sure, but yeah, porn's probably not cool. And on top of that, porn to Beetlejuice just,
Yeah, the dude is literally a 100-year-old perverted.
I had an idea for, like, an anime which would have been really easy. I was like, just rip off Beetlejuice where you make the waifu like a gross, disgusting murder demon like fucking Beetlejuice. People will lap it up and you'll be able to keep it from being, like... You could make it more gross than Eki, but, you know, there'll be those people. There'll be that part of the fandom that won't care. Continuing on. I also think the only reason there's a sort of things fascinate me because, oh, there's that wonderful fascination thing. Okay, Doodle. I remember having the brief phrase, when my ship is right and your ship is wrong, and I'm going to prove it, and Christine doesn't deserve Eric. Is that Twilight or what?
No, I believe it's Phantom.
The opera.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, I really had a phrase, haha, I'm so sorry. Okay, yes, there are very cringy and obnoxious shippers. I am one of those. Anyways, what's different now is the tendencies is to frame it in moralist lens. It's not enough to just be squicked out. I'm aware with this. Do people still use the term squick? Yes, some do. Do people use that in your circle as well, Patch?
Yeah.
Okay, still it's active. Okay, the one person I used that might have been obscure enough where that might have been it. By other people's ships, it's declared a moral wrong that it is doing harm to the world. Won't someone think of the children? Again, I probably would feel a lot more comfortable asking Lindsay to herself here. This is a very charitable way of putting it, but it feels that this is a lot of cases. It really is adults assuming children and teenagers have no critical thinking skills. Now that's concerning. That make bad faith interpretations of the deepest layers of subtext. I mean, shit still went over my head when I was a teenager. Are there going to be people who are fucking able to look at things more deeper and analytically? It's possible. But I mean...
But even the most intelligent person can be groomed. Like... It's not hard to groom someone. I've been groomed by multiple people. I've been abused by multiple people in my life. I'm not the dumbest box of hair in the fucking salon, but
Salon.
I'm also someone who is easily manipulated because I constantly crave the validation of others.
Well, let me do the counter argument since I've been going with the flow here. Of all the things that you're going to groom someone with, Beetlejuice doesn't exactly seem like the first draft pick that you'd use that would, rev a girl's engine, so to speak. He's gross.
Grooming isn't meant to arouse you, it's meant to normalize something. Just because it might not turn you on doesn't mean that it might not make you think, if people think this adult and this child can be together, maybe it's okay for me,
so this
a 14-year-old, to date a 37-year-old.
I got that, but I'm looking at it from like an uptight Catholic's perspective. Like, if you see that one girl, this girl, she lets guys hold her hand or she lets guys touch her butt. Well, she doesn't watch. She's pretty gross and disgusting. Has been like one of the ways to knock that shit. Beetlejuice is the very living embodiment of maybe not, this isn't exactly a gold standard. This isn't something you'd aspire to. I don't know. To normalize it, I'm like, for something that, but he's not the norm. Yeah?
Just because something, are furries the norm? Are sentient animals that walk and talk and have sex the norm?
Okay, I'll put it to this way. There's enough furries where you could say that you could walk into a group and say that there is a sect of society where that's normalized. Even in, like, I guess a subsection of, like, let's say where there's like a vampire culture or something like that, there isn't a whole group of people who are going to try and say that, like, Beetlejuice is the norm. He's pretty out there. Like, he's not like an archetype. I mean, other than like the fat, sweaty guy who doesn't wash and is too amused by his own burps and farts is the only way I could compare anything to Beetlejuice. And I don't, like, that already exists. Is there already a creepy guy who's way too much into girls? That's in the play. Creepy old guy, right?
Yeah, there's a literal whole musical number about why a child and a grown man should not get married.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way. Are you concerned that they made someone who's gross and disgusting, far more than just the basics here, appealing and laughable at? Well, I could point at freaking Mr. Hibbert from Family Guy, or Roger from American Dad, or Sergeant Hatred from Venture Brothers. All those characters can pop and get a laugh out of the audience. But I would imagine the audience would also be aware these characters are nyeh.
Do I think that the media that the characters are in themselves intentionally tries to make these characters enticing or normalize pedophilia? No.
Well,
but
I
this
think he's
isn't
meant to
about
be
the media itself. This is about the fan base.
Well, I was going to say, is he, well, when you said enticing, is he certainly a popular character? Yeah. It's...
I'm talking about romantically enticing.
No, I don't think that was it. It's a very weird one to go for.
Yeah, that's what I think makes this thread that Lindsey did go over a lot of people's heads.
Because he wouldn't be a first draft pick.
Yeah, if
like,
she had done this about, say, I don't know,
Peter Pan.
Yeah, Peter Pan. Someone saying like, "Oh, Peter Pan and Captain Hook," defending fan-created content, shipping those two together.
Well, there's all kinds of undertones in Peter Pan, especially based off the original creator, that we could go into if you really wanted to. In this
I
case,
think she specifically went for this particular form of media in order to make people not really recognize what she's defending.
Do you really think that Lindsey Ellis specifically was, I don't know, trying to push pedophilia? Or maybe they were just...
No, I think she's a dumbass who enables pedophilia through her incompetence. I don't think that she herself understands what she's enabling. I genuinely think this is an instance of her just being really incompetent and stupid.
That may have been the best Leo Convoy impersonation. That was stiff. That was very stiff. I'm reluctant to even go that far. I can't tell you you're wrong, though. That's the other problem. That feels like you're on the money, but man, that's brutal. Holy crap. I'm talking with the blood heir controversy, but either way, tactics like what you're using are exactly what I'm talking about. Bad faith interpretations, redirecting to an entirely irrelevant conversation, validating with an accusation of lacking empathy. Okay, sure. I don't quite get what she was going for there. Would you like to chime in a bit, Patch, before we get on the last one?
Let me have a look-see at the tweet itself.
Okay, it's the third one.
Fun fact, Lindsey Ellis blocked me on Twitter for criticizing ContraPoints.
It's easy to get blocked on Twitter.
I'm never blocked. Makes me sad.
So,
Did Therapy Rarity block you?
You know what? I don't know. I don't check their page.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not familiar with the blood heir controversy itself.
Is it... What is that in reference
what
to?
she's trying to accuse Fat Was 2020 or non-binary and tired, the commenter above her, of doing is bad faith criticism, because Fat Was brought up that a lot of predatory spaces are in fandoms. So people who see, like, someone shipping an adult with a child, and that if that person was in fact abused as a child by someone in a fandom space, they're going to see, wait a minute, that's just like what was used to groom me. And then they're going to approach it from that angle instead of thinking, oh, it's just a harmless ship. And Lindsey is claiming that by saying that traumatized people will see this stuff as grooming material and not as fandom material is a bad faith argument.
I thought bad faith is when you're intentionally doing it.
Yeah.
Well,
She's claiming that this person is intentionally doing this specific argument in order to, make her look like the bad guy. Instead of considering that maybe she is the bad guy. Maybe she's doing something incredibly stupid right now.
well, we're all the hero of our own story. Like it in the case, I don't necessarily agree, but I get it. I get why it upsets people. But then you have people saying that if you have fantasies about, being a bad boy kidnapped by Loki or Kylo Ren, you're normalizing abuse. And it's like, guys, come on. I kind of agree with that. Like, if you fantasize about, I don't know, Darth Vader, which, if you think about that, that's, again, I think you could do better than a burnt up fucking stump. Be a dumb kid. What do you think?
But there's a difference between kids being, like, fantasizing about this dumb, cliche, bad boy shit, and grown adults drawing pictures of a 14-year-old making out with a grown man.
Okay, no, obviously not, but I'm just judging by this one statement by its own isolatedness. If you look at the whole, yeah. Let's see. Anyways, behold the field in which I grow my fucks and see that it is barren. I like that. Let me try that again. Anyways, behold the field in which I grow my fucks and see that it is barren. I want Brony Inspector to do a Dr. Wolf of that. I cannot...
Yes.
Yes. Or even the Skeletor one from Leo. I cannot tell you how much I don't have the energy to actually care about accusations like your ship is normalizing abuse, but that doesn't mean I don't find this sort of thing fascinating as all hell. Again...
There it is with how is it that every enabler we've come across uses that word? Oh, it's fascinating.
That's...
Babe, I'm throwing a bag of gummies at you. Are you prepared to catch it?
Holy hell. Jesus.
I love you. Sorry, I'm sorting through our snack rations for the month.
Indeed. It's good to have. Well... I guess that goes as far as we're going to go with Lindsey. So we're going to get to, what's his name? I already forgot it again.
Super Shy Guy.
Super Shy
Also
Guy.
known as Bitpolar.
Okay, so it was...
Or Brinstar.
Yes, Brinstar on
He changed
YouTube.
his username so many fucking times, it's hard to keep track at this point.
Ooh, Coyote showed up with the popcorn.
Brinstar. Let's just look that up again. Am I spelling it right?
It's.
babe? Do you remember? Did
You
he
want me to
get
send it to you, hun?
Sure, go ahead.
Alright, I can do that. Because you will.
Alright.
Or you can just put it in this room or call.
I was going to.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna send you guys a picture of this dumb setup I have.
I didn't get a chance to really look at Crikey. He did respond. He did opt to not come along for the ride. I appreciate.
Wait, you got him to respond on what, Twitter?
Yeah.
He's still active?
Crikey Dave? Yes. He's thriving, actually. He's doing pretty good on YouTube.
I don't know how I feel about that.
When I talked to Donut about it, in which that call will probably be out either tomorrow or next week. In Brian Starr's case, looking pretty dead. looking like it ain't gonna go nowhere. About a month ago he hit a K. Numbers aren't so hot. He could snap back, but the day of Brian Starr using and abusing his powers seems like it's past. As for Crikey Dave, Dave Smith, I believe is the same guy. 55K subs.
That's according to Jess, that's the right name.
Yes. Uploads 13K, 19K, 431K, 24K, 32K. Oh yes, he's not only active, but he is still killing it, I would argue.
Has he publicly condemned his previous actions?
Actually no, wait a minute. The last time he uploaded is 2 years ago. Sorry.
Never mind.
Yeah, well, we'll check the Twitter. Something about hot chocolate. Monkey Island. I'm concerned going through a furry's Twitter to see if anything's going to get me kicked off.
Do you want me to check on?
Yes.
When was that what, dear?
Battle Kid. How recent was that?
If that's his artwork, it's okay. I mean, I've seen better.
Wait, he collaborated with Game Grumps?
Yeah.
He,
Yeah.
freaking, what's his name used to follow him? Markiplier.
Superstar guy.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Markiplier used to follow them both, and then it was brought to his attention what happened, and he unfollowed them.
Flufflepuff and him follow each other.
Battle Kid series was like years ago, babe.
Fair enough, but I mean the animated one that we both love so much.
Dang.
That was 2 years ago.
Okay, so
Yeah, that was the year after I moved in with you. I remember because I watched it when it premiered and you still hated Game Grumps at the time, so you asked me to use headphones.
Is he more of an artist than anything else?
yeah.
Yeah, he produces a lot of fan art and animations, mostly.
He at least used to be Sci Guy's main webcomic artist.
Okay.
Remember his gay pedophile Sonic webcomic?
They worked on a comic called GG Guys together.
Did Crikey Dave do anything specifically with any real kids?
I don't know about Crikey Dave as much as I do about Sci Guy because
Okay.
that's the one that. See, how I know about Sci Guy is I was watching Gaijin Goomba videos while Jess was at work, and she came home, and it was a collab video between Gaijin Goomba and Sci Guy, and Jess recognized his vectors and was like, "Hey, you should stop watching that." Why? That guy on the left is a pedophile. What? Yeah, no. He did a podcast with another pedophile. And I used to listen to it until I found out that they were both kid fuckers. And I regret that decision every day of my life.
Yeah, I've seen Sci Guy. There's his OC was very distinctive. It's kind of green. It's in two
Looks
different...
like Manic or Scourge.
Yeah, he's
Green Hedgehog.
He's in two different Galacon freaking cartoons. You could even find one on Living Tombstone's channel.
Seriously?
Yeah, pull it up.
Yeah.
He was...
They They
He
were
was
at the same
popular before the
cons.
allegations, huh?
He was a big name fan in the Sonic fandom, yeah.
It's a good thing I never gave a shit about Sonic.
Making friends
I'm
everywhere.
sorry, Rouge. I know it's one of your favorite fandoms.
Get the fuck out, Patch. I hate you.
Don't worry, she
No!
does
I'm not coming to see you now.
No! We just promised you would visit! What about the cats?
I'm coming for the cat, but not you.
Oh my god, you bitch! I'm
She
not
does
gonna
it to
be
me
jealous
too. It's
anymore,
nothing
then.
special. Holy shit. Alright.
Horrible.
I still want my lowest furry award. You're gonna give it to me, Anthony.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I know about Crikey Dave is that he was, like, slightly more notable than Sly Guy in the allegations, and that he got a lot more flack because he kept trying to come back, and Sly Guy actually had the common sense to disappear.
Here's the video. It's cartoon, vinyl, and Canon Go on Galacon. Here, I'll freaking screen share it. Share screen. And there it is. Bunk.
I am thinking of the kittens.
I'm just gonna jump straight to the Galacon part.
Oh, apparently...
Here's old boy.
Apparently one of Sly Guy's victims, was also abused by Crikey Dave in the allegations. We don't know if it was confirmed, though.
Okay, so there you go. That's everyone. That's his OC for anyone who wants to know. He's long fucked off and probably doesn't use it no more. Pardon, sorry.
I'm not sure what their name
No
is.
excuse for you.
Indeed. He's been on YouTube for like a goddamn long time. We found a video from 2006 where he was being interviewed. Rouge claims he looks like Toon Critic.
No, I said they have
Yeah.
a lot of similarities.
Would you like
He
to see?
kind of does,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Oh, I guess we'll pull that up.
He's got that same discount Markiplier beard.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can find him.
Like, going through the allegations, how they handled it, everything sounds, you know, word for word.
You know
It's
what? I'm
like
just gonna
he
grab
took
off.
a page out of the book.
Let me blank and grab this off of Discord real quick.
Honestly, there's very little I wouldn't give to be able to talk to these two face to face and see if I could get them to admit whether or not they actually did the things they were accused of. Because if I could get a solid admission of guilt,
They've been at this a long
You
time.
sound like I'm fully prepared to hear whether they did it or not. I don't want a rigged game, but yeah, this is.
Shy Guy did end up coming out and saying that he did do things with, I believe it's Shannon, the 16-year-old.
Okay.
That's the same person who said that Dave abused them.
Yeah. No, and they do have logs in the Tumblr bits that I was able to sit down and read, but there's a lot to go into.
Oh yeah, no, it was a bit mind-numbing. Again, I'd still like to clarify because when someone says that I seem to remember Spockter Theory did everything that you believe about me is absolutely right, and when I heard that walk back, I'm like, well, that's a lot of extra work that I have to look into now, isn't it?
Because he's like, yeah, I started dating them at 16. I was depressed and wanted to be with someone, and I wasn't going to be sexual or physical with them until they were 18, and then it was,
isn't that what Tom said?
hold on, they're, Super Shy Guy and, what is it, Cranky Dave or whatever?
Yeah, do you
Cranky Dave,
hold it, do you got the link to that statement so I can put it on screen?
I'm not going to go searching for it. There's too many links in that
No,
thing.
I know. There's a shit ton of links to go through, but
You're not doing it to me. But those two, there were allegations from that 16-year-old that when they were about to turn 18, they were arguing over who would get to fuck them first.
okay. that's actually in the recorded call where that was one of the things that made me think of Flufflepuff. There's a Psy Guy interview where they're talking to a girl who said, "Oh yeah, that very statement about who was gonna fuck me first or something like that." And
Yeah, that's Shannon, and then there's also Liz that I know of.
it made me think of like because she said something along the lines of, he'd break up with me, he'd feel guilty, he'd come back, and I'm like, oh, Bayfish Flufflepuff. And then I found out that Crikey Dame followed Flufflepuff, and I was like, small world. And they follow each other.
Groomers tend to flock together. It's why
look, that'd be the big payoff. I'm just suspicious. I do absolutely believe I've heard at least 2 cases. If Mike got up to some old shit there, I'd definitely be more than willing to hear about that. I definitely would be willing to listen to anyone accusing Crikey Dave.
If anyone who was a victim of either of these two wants to come forward with their evidence, my DMs on Twitter are always open.
I do have one of the victims messaging me, and they are willing to talk through text, but they're sick and stuff.
Yeah, we can
Anthony said Monday.
Yep.
So
Monday at the earliest.
Whenever they're comfortable coming forward to talk.
They're fine coming forward, and they normally would. It's just they're really sick, and their voice isn't doing so well right now.
Well, then we can wait until another time to talk to them directly.
Okay.
Yeah. But they are one of the victims. And that was confirmed by, what is it, Mr. Viper Snake or whatever?
Are those Cheez-Its?
What? Yes, those are Cheez-Its.
I heard food, and now I have to go look.
I have a box of Cheez-It Grooves with white cheddar on my freaking bed right now.
What about the food I sent you?
I had the cookies already. Those actually paid off on the weekend. The white
Were they
Oreo.
good?
The
You
white
like
Oreo. Well, I ate them. I didn't throw them out. I really
good.
needed.
They're my favorite thing. They're seasonal.
I like Oreos.
Goddamn right you do, motherfucker.
Look, the only
I
person.
know, cookies and cream.
Brooke came on guard when I said, "What's wrong with cookies?" I only had it to eat when I was sick. I can't stand the sight of it, and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Oh, hi, Webcake.
Oh, Wub.
Hey, Web is here.
Wub.
Is my favorite. You know what? Shut up, you.
No, I like Wub. Shit.
I know exactly why you're laughing.
No,
Shut up.
No, I'm not laughing about anything that you're talking about. Don't be weird. Everybody's cool.
Well, that was impressive.
I like that Wub shows up, though.
Yeah, I like it too.
Wait, Wub, are you going to Babs? I want to know this.
Yeah. Rouge wants to meet you.
All of my friends are going to Babs, but I can't fucking go because I'm poor as shit. When I was friends with Vita, he would always yell at me to go to conventions, and I'd always tell him, if you fucking pay for it, then I'll go.
No, but they're going to HarmonyCon.
Okay. No one's willing to pony up the fucking money.
I see what you did there. But anyways, here's the other thing. I mean, it's in California, you know. Aren't you in California?
Yeah, but I live in Stockton, and Babs is like a while's drive, and our car is like literally falling apart. It's held together by duct tape in places.
Take a bus.
Do you know how hard it is to find wheelchair accessible buses in this goddamn town?
I didn't think. All right, it was worth a shot.
I know. I have something to talk to you about later, Patch. I don't know if it's stream talk, so.
Okay, we'll hold off then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's Riley stream stuff, so.
Okay.
Probably not.
Is it Riley just being dumb?
I'm going to be sending your care package on Friday.
So, I had to contact Amazon because they told me your thing got delivered and it was never here.
Yeah, that also happened with my Reddit gift Secret Santa. It was supposed to be delivered, like, literally last month, and it's still not here. Apparently it's been imported from Singapore, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Hi, you're going to Babs now. Hi, Riley.
Hi, Riley.
Speak of the devil.
We were just. Who was the second guy besides Sai that we were talking about a minute ago?
Cranky Dave.
Cranky Dave.
Cranky.
Sorry. What exactly did Cranky Dave do? Because I'd heard a lot of people had said that he'd done some of the same things. If we could look into that further. If anyone has any stories on Cranky Dave, I guess.
I found a post on Curb who apparently likes to hit on fans that are younger than him.
How old is Cranky Dave?
Not too much older than Chris Neosi.
Who?
Curb.
Curb? I don't.
He was the third guy on their dumb shit
Oh,
podcast.
I'm not familiar. Again, this literally, I think they went out about the same time I came in, and I wasn't anywhere near drama at the time.
Well, the only reason why I know anything about this is because Jess used to be a fan.
Oh, I remember looking this up. I saw the guy who's actually in Limbo, Youngblood Fantasy 91, ended up talking about him as a commentator, and I was like, fuck. Literally everybody seemed to know about this but me.
Crikey Dave. I'm gonna look up Crikey's separate allegations specifically. Oh shit, he has a Tumblr.
Yeah, he's still around and everywhere.
He makes Beastars fan art now.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Oh, I'm just making a response to
He
Jen.
was at BronyCon?
Yeah, hold it.
hold on.
Hold it. Just a quick response to Jen. Yeah, Youngblood. He's teaching now, I believe. Go ahead.
So with Crikey Dave, what I can see is that his family's openly stalking Shan, the minor that was in allegations against both, and he also used body hypnosis, something he used on Shan and their RPs when they were 16 and he was 24 in his art and his recent stalking.
So he engaged in hypno fetish with a child.
Well,
Yeah, so there's an 8-year difference.
So you just if you just read that off, can you post a link?
What I post might not be appropriate though.
Oh, can you maybe screen cap around the nude?
Well, there is no new. It's ERP essentially.
It's just text.
Mm.
Well, put it up. I've read off worse.
Let me pull it up on my laptop because my phone's being slow.
Okay.
I know where it is.
Remember, Rouge, you're on the same channel who has gone through Therapy Rarity's disgusting posts.
Yeah, I'm the one who had to see that dick.
Did you hear that Therapy Rarity's account got suspended?
Aww.
Which one?
The main profile.
Yeah, the pervert one, I'm assuming. I'm heartbroken.
Aw,
Aw.
you love bullying that fucker, don't you?
Oh well.
1 second, I'm trying to find where that twit long thing is.
We'll find another one. It's fine.
There's always more pedophiles to bully.
Watch, it'll just be Therapy Rarity 1 next to it.
Well, I don't know. It paid off that I managed to find out who it was. It was one of those long shots where I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna find it." Well, I'll be damned.
Sorry, I have to go up in limbo for this link.
Typically, class, it's not wise to pick a fight with a non. You'll never find him.
Alright. Pulling up the thingy. I have to talk about what I'm doing so you don't think I'm fucking off.
That's okay.
Leave you hanging. Just
Yep.
dip out of the stream.
Rouge panics and runs away.
I don't
I
blame
mean-
her. This
I
stuff
can't
is
handle
intense.
I can't handle the pressure.
Shut up. I'm a deer in headlights.
You're doing okay, Rouge.
Alright, let's see. His art. Alright, so this is the body hypnosis. Let me go.
Hey, do you want to talk about that thing you almost did the spit take on your computer?
No!
Okay, alright, fine, never mind. We will not pick on Cloudy Brony in stream.
It's a baby. Baby's got a weird hat on.
I'm just gonna post this in here while I try to get it.
Okay.
While you two are being a dumb couple, Jess and I are also being a dumb couple. She's playing Warframe at the same time that we're doing this stream. And for those of you who don't know what the fuck Warframe is, it's ninjas in space, and you can have a weird alien cat. And the weird alien cat was wearing a hat, and it's adorable.
Well, Warframe isn't that like Overwatch? Is that
No.
it? Okay, my mistake.
No, Warframe is way older and way better than Overwatch could ever hope to
Okay,
be.
hold it. It's in the same vein of like FPS or third-person shooter is what I mean.
Yeah, it's a third. Yeah, it's a third person.
But the story's actually there. Like it actually.
Well,
Like if I said,
you get a story update every 300 years, but
yeah, if you said Street Fighter and I said Karate Champ, we're in the same big ballpark is what I mean. Got it.
I don't know what the fuck Karate Champ is. God, I'm a child.
No, it's fine. It's ancient shit. So anyways, list of evidence and testimony against Super Psy bipolar. Crikey Dave. There are some disgusting, unsettling things out there, so please be careful. Massive trigger warnings for pedophile, sexual abuse, harassment, coercion, general abuse, and general harassment, racism, cheating, gaslighting, stalking, ableism, suicide, mentions the self-harm mentioned. I did hear a call earlier where someone literally read off like the poetry about the girl wanting to kill herself or something, or getting the girl to kill herself or some weird shit like that.
Yeah, he made a poem about murdering the girl.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I mean, there are weird people out there that are down for that.
I mean, isn't there an entire like a Reddit board dedicated to consensual cannibalism?
That one e-girl who got murdered online was like, I remember reading off, slides knife over, lays down, blushes is what they were reading off for the Medicare stream, and I'm like, that's a dumb bitch. I'm sorry, you don't put yourself in bad positions like that. Don't have people fantasize about killing you. Seeing as how quite a bit harassed since the last hunger, I figured it was a time for an update version. Tumblr staff not only didn't restore the original Super Saga callout blog after removing it without giving us a reason, but refused to even discuss the matter when they were contacted. I don't know.
Oh.
Yes?
I just found because the link for the hypnosis stuff wasn't there. There is pictures that he drew
How
of
YouTube
the
safe?
hypnosis stuff.
How YouTube safe is it?
I'll send it to Patch because I'm not the person to judge.
Okay.
I am in some interesting kink spaces in my personal time, so I am a much better judge of.
Well, I don't have YouTube.
Yeah, no, Patch, I need you to bust out your YouTube powers, not your kink powers.
Yeah, this is not YouTube appropriate.
All right.
This
is it
God.
Is it more than spirals in the eyes or?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, way more. It's censored with bars, but you can see what's going on pretty clearly.
Okay.
And if that OC belonged to a child, she is way more developed than she needed to be for a 16-year. No! No! Don't do that.
You know what? I am going to blank the screen and take a peek.
You want me to send it to you?
Yeah, send me one and then remove it.
Alright. I'm sending you the Tumblr thing, but the image is right at the top.
Okay, I'll tell you when to remove it.
Don't like that at all.
Sorry, class. We don't want to get kicked off of YouTube. Alright. No, that probably would not have flown. I only just, downstairs, damn it, while standing. What other weird shit you got in here? Okay.
I'm gonna remove it now.
Yeah, I know, I'm just scrolling through. And that's enough. And he clearly knew that the girl was 16, yes?
Yeah, no, he very clearly knew. Seeing as he openly admitted to starting dating her when she was 16 and not planning on engaging with her.
Well, that was Psy, though, not...
18.
Wait, who...
This, with Psy Guy, it started in... God, before 2006 is when they started interacting. They were 13
well,
at the time.
Tell you what, for the people who want to see it, here, I will reblank the screen and post it to Twitter. How's that? And bunk. Removed. Go ahead, repost me the link.
I'm not reposting the link.
Okay.
I already closed it.
All right, fine. Tell you what, Patch, could you post it to Twitter?
Yeah, sure.
All right, there. Just throw me.
I'll post the thread to Twitter.
Yeah, throw me
after the
throw
show.
me your Twitter. I'll put it in the top of the comment, or yeah, towards the top here, and that'll be our workaround.
Yeah, sure. Give me a minute.
All right.
Oh yeah, Tara was one of his victims too, with Liz and Shannon.
There's so many of them.
It's a lot. I feel like I have my issues with Kiwi Farms. A lot of issues with Kiwi Farms, but usually they're way better at documenting shit than this.
A lot of it was because a lot of the things winded up going to links I assumed that they thought were going to stay up. A lot of things went down.
So the link that's down is the short version of their story. This here, let's not post that in Serenity. They don't need that. Dates the girls' interactions from pre-2006 with Super Shy Guy all the way through with Crikey Dave and everything happening. No images or anything, it's all text.
Okay. I'd already clicked on it, so this was written in 2015 with various edits made into interim periods as I remember stuff. Lately, I have been dealing with an increased flashbacks, reminders of events from friends, heightened anxiety due to recent event revolving around Sci Guy, Bitpuller, and Crikey Dave. I'm rewriting and expanding upon my testimonies because when I originally wrote them in 2014, I was mostly in to inform friends as I didn't really feel like telling the same story over and over again. There were key elements I think I ended up leaving out due to simply not remembering them. It's fine. I know there are two generally irrelevant these days, and I'm not too interested in kicking the call out back right now. This isn't for attention, and to be honest, it's for my own records, and for calling out blog. And the other stuff likes to basically serve as a long form testimony if someone feels like digging beyond my truncated version. What's truncated? Okay, never mind.
Sorry, I don't know. I'm reading further in about Dave.
Okay, we're all boomers here. But anyways, it's really not fun digging the crap back up. Trust me when I say I'd love it if this issue disappeared forever and ever, and I could go about my life posting Kunamon pictures and memeing on my friends. What the hell is that anyways? But this takes literally years of my life away from me. I met Sai in 2006. That's actually the same time we saw that video. The year is currently 2015. Okay, so about 5 years ago. That's 9 years. I'm 22 years now. I'm dealing with PTSD and other fun mental instabilities thanks to what transpired. This will split into sections for easier reading since my original post was kind of a jumbled mess of bad grammar, and so then this happened. When something takes up that much time and so much shit happens, it ends up being a doozy. So without further ado, here's my entire experience of my abuse by Sci Guy and Crikey Dave, as well as the other enablers. Again, Mr. Dave, if any time that you would like to come forward and clear up any misunderstandings, Mikasa Sukasa. It was the year of 2001 when I first even heard of Sai, who back then was known as the pioneer of sprite comics. I didn't know what Sonic was. I was looking up Pokemon sprite comics, and then I happened to see that I'm getting a bit of an echo there. That's my Sonic. I was 8 years old. The raunchy humor. Raunchy is the instance. Where am I getting the feedback from?
I don't know.
Okay, just raunchy in the instance meaning disgusting, homophobic, racist, misogynist, ableist, and the works in Sonic. Okay, really appealing to me because I was literally a little kid. I watched the site grow to have staff members who rotated in and out of favor. I watched the Fallout shelter to be a thing. I watched the Fallout shelter to be a thing. I'm missing a thing here. I kept up the comics on the site and the live journals of various staff members who Sai happened to be dating. See, Sai was a very public about his love life, which is something pretty much everyone who knows Sai knows about him. Even back then, girls were exchanging frequent for something that he perceived as better. I didn't really pay attention because I was again a kid, except to when Tara fell in and out of favor because I really liked her work even back then. There were times I'd fall out of viewing the site, but Wachow was ultimately what roped me back. Patch, can you mute? I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm not trying to be a dick.
Why?
Okay. I thought the podcast was hilarious despite the obvious aforementioned problems that exist in everything that Sai touches. I wanted to be in that. I watched the curse and laugh along with these cool adults. I wanted to be privy to their private lives. Imagine how cool it would be to be inside, right? Maybe I could have my comic on Fireball 20XL, which I'm assuming is long gone now. Maybe I could be cool and popular. Cool and popular. I'll keep this short, but I was heavily bullied as a kid for being obnoxiously weird. I have social skills, worked by obsession into everything and cried getting overly stimulated and constantly generally was dealt a shit hand because of my autism. My teachers even bullied me, encouraging the kids to take part. I was verbally stimmed to myself, and I make up stories to keep myself occupied. As years went on, the bullying only got worse. I was eventually forcibly ousted from most student events for my own safety. Hell, even my own brother bested me at everything. I could never win. I'm a bit skeptical, just because that they seem to be putting an awful lot on everyone else. Continuing on, so imagine the appeal of being noticed by the Byron... it's on screen. The Psy guy himself, so only a 13-year-old who entered junior high school. I was insecure. I was lonely. My friends treated me like a human fodder, and nothing more. But if Psy noticed me, I could be popular. Fucking imagine getting approval, praise, love, and attention from so many people, having so many friends who were popular. Nobody knew or cared who I was. And if they did, they thought I was awkward. I wanted validation to change that. Why is this that I'm being mentioned? Don't worry, my crap childhood being very apparent very soon. Eventually, after reading on Sai's live journal for the longest time, I bit the bullet and began commenting. Oh, holy shit. I just saw how much there is.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's why I just skipped down to the Dave stuff.
Okay, I guess we're going down to Dave. What year? What year? Please tell me what year.
I can't tell you what year because I'm fully into this. I can give you a quick run through of what I've read happen so far.
I was about to say, oh god, I'm never gonna make it. Go on without me.
Basically, she got feelings for Dave. Sai told Dave. Dave was like, I would, but you're 16 and you're 15 and I'm 23 and I only date Australian girls. And then poked at her afterwards. And they started ERPing a lot. And then he decided to end it. And they went back to Sai.
Who was that one, crikey? started with?
Yeah. Well, it started with Sai. It went into Dave. Dave being the one who was like, "But you're 15 and I'm 23. It won't work." And then immediately went into ERPing with them, like on a regular basis.
And how long were Crikey and Sai at the time?
15 and 23.
Well, I said Sai and Crikey, so one of those.
Oh, Sai and Crikey?
Yes.
I know Crikey was 23. I don't know about Sai, but I know he was up there in the age too.
Okay. Just making sure before we throw that around.
Because it looks like if you go to 2009, there'll be like little dots in the middle of the page. That's where I started reading.
Okay, here we go. But I digress. He at that point came knocking on Tara's door when she experienced a rough patch in her relationship pre-engagement. He was all over her, talking about how good she was and how much he missed her. Gifts, roses, chocolates, sweet talk. By name, Sai was willing to dump it on Tara to have her back. It says an engagement here, so I'm assuming that Tara at this point is certainly of age, yes?
I couldn't tell you. It doesn't say.
I was about to say, if there's a girl out there who's able to legally get married, this could be an assumption in the United States.
You can get engaged at any fucking age.
Okay,
Trust me, there are kids in high school and junior high doing it.
Gonna back away from that now. I didn't know any better. I thought it was cute at the time. It seems counterintuitive, but sure, back then I was still incredibly passive about Sai's constant whining and personal conflicts, and did not engage myself too much in them beyond listening. I had no desire to carry out Sai's will until much later that year. Tara quickly fixed our relationship with her now husband, much to Sai's absolute fury. He was so nice, he bought plane tickets for Tara to go see him, never mind that she paid for half, lol. Gifts, all sorts of things. He was so nice, and Tara was such a bitch, and Sai's heart was cold as the winter snow, and he was honestly so melodramatic you'd have to be 15 to buy into it. I'm confused here, though. Is she saying that the other guy's a bad guy or not?
They're all bad guys.
Okay. Well, who's the other guy here? The now husband.
I don't know.
Why is the other husband bad?
It's not focused on that. It's focused on Craigie and fucking Sai Guy. Worry about them.
Okay, I'm just like wondering because this person seems to think a lot of people are shit, and if you're dumping on everyone, I take your word with a bit less salt or a bit of a grain. Being without Liz, Tara, or other romantic prospects, he claimed he needed to feel fulfilled. His needs were friends, job, a girlfriend, according to him. He created a side Deviant account for Dave, and I had to view call Aberoon. Or whatever the hell it is. Aberoon was a personification of Sai's apparent, complete, and utter despair at the fact that he wasn't getting his dick wet. Okay. The account was filled with poems, misogynistic tirades about women manipulating him for sex, using and abusing him, lying to him, and how much he wanted to kill them. For not fulfilling his needs or something, he was so furious at the time as Tara for not bending to his will. Perhaps if you'd like to unmute and chime in at any time, I'm sure there's plenty of things to unpack here. Yeah? Sorry, I just didn't...
Honestly, I'm just sort of baffled that both Crikey and Sai Guy continuously ERP'd with a minor and made a big deal about, oh, I can't have sex with you because you're underage, but I'll pretend to have sex with you.
It's not real. Isn't that the argument with everything? It's not real, guys. It's fantasy. You gotta know the difference between real life and, role play or drawings or whatever.
Yeah, it totally doesn't groom people or make them think that this behavior is normal. It's just pixels on a screen. It doesn't affect the real world. Jesus Christ. The amount of deaths of sharks after the Jaws movie came out nearly quadrupled within 3 months. I did an entire article on this. Fiction directly affects our perception of reality. Anyone who thinks otherwise is a dumbass. There's so much to fucking unpack that I'd rather just throw the whole suitcase away.
Yeah, no. Like, when you start going through the master...
Hold it. I'm not going to equate a Spielberg production and the number of people it reaches versus an erotic roleplay with a kid, which I absolutely understand is a completely terrible thing.
That's not my point,
Okay.
Anthony. My point is that fiction affects our perception of reality. When you when you engage in fiction that makes it look like an adult having a sexual relationship with a minor is normal, you are teaching the minor that it is normal. When you make a movie about how sharks are dangerous, you're teaching the viewer that sharks are dangerous. I'm not comparing the two. I'm saying that they both have a direct effect on the people who engage with it.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I got it too. I felt like there was a hesitation there because I was like, wait a minute. That was a pretty big statement, and I was like, I feel like I should challenge this somehow and not just leave it out there on the... Wow, that was a lot to unpack, and I wasn't prepared for an argument there. Or at least a discussion. I don't know. Mind of Menace was honestly so fucking ableist it hurt. Psycho, Bitpolar, really. It was now often just Cy, Dave, and myself will occasionally obnoxiously curb who fought with Cy all the damn time to the point where it was exasperating. Cy ramped up microaggressions and flirting. Ahem. Jokes, hit-ons, lol, I'm so funny. Towards me, very slightly at this point. I didn't realize it until looking at the documents citing horrible shit Cy said to every girl ever. He was very often made fun of for being that kind of loyalty. He literally groomed me into having all his sad-ass Aberoon winter mask I'm so cold shit. Okay. You see, his ideal partner was Amy Rose. Oh, I remember hearing about this. With the body of Rouge the Bat. Alright. I can't make this shit up. Even back then, I thought it was a bit corny. Well, kids, if you think something's dumb, and go with your gut and walk away from that. By inciting constant pity in me, he groomed me into believing the world I was out to get him. Dave and I were the only people who loved him in this world. Dark world, and that every woman he dated was evil, spiteful, and either wanted his dick or was just insane and selfish. I didn't get the dumped me on my birthday story. I did get the one about my girlfriend cheated on me with my best friend, and I once beat up a kid in school who made me so mad I was red. It was I'm such a horrible monster. But as we know, every tale was spun specifically for pity. Every word out of his mouth was a bold-faced lie. If he told me a trail of destruction he led back when I was 15, he would probably boggle my mind completely. 1 second. If he told me the trail of destruction he led back when I was 15, it would probably boggle my mind completely. Okay. But as it stood, my suspicions that anything was anything different from what Cy said it was. Like Kaladin said 10 girlfriends in 2 years. Like there was nothing more than jerk-off rags thrown out there because they got too needy. From what I was told, they were all horribly evil, and Cy was just a misunderstood lost monster guy who needed love. I wouldn't be surprised if Dave got bored of Cy's whining, because he began to express interest in me. Out of nowhere, he called me on Skype one evening for a chat. Again, I didn't know how much beforehand. He was the guy who drew GG guys, who had a cute accent and was really shy. Like I said before, not really much to go off of if you want to know the truth, so again, he calls me. He talked to me for several hours, joked around, laughed, and had a great time. He was now sold on me as a buddy friend that he could hang out with separate from Cy. Dave did throw him under the bus constantly because Dave pitied him. Cy complained too damn much, and I was sold on his charm. As Dave and I's relationship budded, Cy yanked Liz out from the skeletons in his closet and decided that public enemy number one was public enemy girlfriend ever. I love you, Liz. Now that Cy finally shut up about how winter had come to his sad 25-year-old baby heart, Dave and I spent a lot of time to ourselves. I meant a lot of time. Being 2 hours behind Cy, Dave could talk to me longer because Cy would go to bed early. If Cy wasn't around, but Dave was, Dave and I immediately got to talking. We mostly talked about Dave's life, what he liked, and Cy's weird, insane bullshit current memes, random bits of psychology, and mostly, importantly, knocking me down a few pegs about what I liked. Dave couldn't stand my fan servicey gross pedo mangas that I liked. I mean, they said it, not me. He didn't.
Wait. Like?
Yeah, I know. He just sort of threw that out there, and I was like, Dave couldn't stand.
So wait,
yeah, let's.
Your pedo mangas were so gross that an actual pedo didn't like them. What kind of shit were you reading?
See, here's the whole thing about that. Maybe they were more humory. I don't fucking know. I really can't. Jesus.
I mean, maybe it was Black Butler.
See, yeah, no, maybe it was really girly shit. I don't know.
I wouldn't say Black Butler is girly. I'd say it's girly. There's a little too much murder there for it to be considered girly.
It appeals to the fangirl part of certain, the anime fandom. So yeah, in that sense, I mean.
Originally, it was supposed to be a gay porn series.
Not shocked.
But then they turned CL into a child.
I was told Eiko was supposed to be a hentai, and they just switched it over to something else. So that's an old one. Dave couldn't stand my fan servicey gross, but sorry, I gotta get past that. He didn't get why I RP'd anywhere. I should play video games and not like this dumb shit. Doesn't sound too terrible to me. This ended up in me slowly weaning myself off of my favorite things to spend more time with Dave, who to me was indefinitely more interested now than Cy ever was. He was more personal, friendly, funnier, and sadly more open to dismissive to keep me in some sort of line. Then coupled with the near constant talking, it had me firmly under Dave's thumb. Did I miss any part where Dave tried to put a move on this person yet? Because so far I don't hear the.
What you're
it's further down.
Yeah, no, I'm just like saying. So I don't want you looking at gay pedo manga, and I don't want you RPing. And I'm like, what a terrible guy. Anyway.
I don't want you to do this, but let me slide in there and
okay,
ERP.
All right, yeah, no, we'll continue on. Pardon the side, but I wonder what the hell point of constantly having me in call thing for Dave. I mean, if he genuinely enjoyed my company, that's cool, but I didn't have the time to myself anymore. All of my hobbies went bye-bye for the sake of these long-ass calls. Well, I don't know. Were all your hobbies ERP and pedo hentai? Anyways, Dave would even complain to me about being in call for so long because it drained his 10 gigs of data he used to use for the month. Like, bandwidth caps suck. I'm on a 50 gig one right now. But what on God's green earth is the point of talking with me, honest to God, for hours if such is a problem? He even called me when friends were over, when his mom was around. Hell, even his stepdad was around, and he hit on me too, which was weird and gross. Dave expressed to me that working on GG Guys while doing freelance work was a giant pain in the ass. Me, being friendly, generous, and willing to offer my services whenever needed, offered to lighten Dave's load by slapping some colors on for him. That reminded me of something else I don't feel like bringing up. The first one I colored had Dave buck ass naked with his dick hanging out. Honestly, if that's not an alarm, I don't know what is. Okay, that makes sense. Here, a 15-year-old Shannon coloring a dick for him, and I leapt to an assault. Walking tits characters outside while the writer mocks his girlfriend for wanting attention and existing. Sai only let me color 2 comics before getting mad because I wasn't in it, by the way. Is Crikey Dave's comics still up, or?
I can look.
I guess we'll look at Crikey Dave's farm thread later. Especially since there's probably things on there that aren't YouTube friendly. Being in such a close proximity to someone who was so nice to me, I inevitably developed a huge teenage crush on Dave. Being so kind to me, so friendly and sweet, I couldn't help myself at the time. I came up into the conversation with Sai, who told me Dave looked like a drowned rat. He didn't get it, but okay, whatever. But cannot keep a secret to save his life. And despite knowing I wanted to let the crush slide and came bounding his way to Dave's doorstep, loudly to declare that I, Shannon KM, had lovey-dovey feelings for Dave Smith. I apologize if the comic tone devalues this. I'm tired and Sai is ridiculous. Holy crap. Dave immediately calls me and Sai on Skype when he finds out at the ripe hour of 6 a.m. before school. On Shannon, he says he would be the perfect girlfriend. You would be the perfect girlfriend. You're 15. I'm 23. You're definitely not Australian, and I want you to keep my dating pool to local girls only. I relented and accepted because this would be the answer despite wishing it wasn't. I went to school like nothing happened. Sure, I was certainly sad as hell all my life, but life goes on. I mean, it doesn't feel anything for Sai anymore, but surely this too would pass. Skype finds out there's a rape page. So I'm having trouble keeping up with this because there's so much crap. Dave immediately calls me and Sai on Skype, and he finds out at the ripe hour. Is Dave calling on behalf of Sai?
No, he's just calling to call him.
Okay.
And their comic is still up. It is updates every Monday.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute, or at least I'll check that out after the stream. Except, no, I didn't, because Dave began being unusually affectionate and kind. He had seen a photo of me at this point, and he would remark about me being cute, about how kind I was to him, so forth and so on. Lots of texts, hugs, lots of late night calls. Just Dave did everything he could to keep my company for as long as he could. If Sai were to complain about Liz, we would stop listening and talking about whatever we wanted to instead. This culminated in me giving Dave a text kiss on the cheek in a playful manner. His reply giving me a full-blown text kiss on the lips. Oh, but he still didn't want to be with me. He just liked my company. The original no was completely blown out of the water by now, leaving the floodgates to open for our relationship. I began vomiting daily. My nerves were so high that I would wake up earlier to talk to Dave and puke and go to school, sleep in class, go home, talk to Dave, go to bed, wake up, puke. I had an honest-to-God panic attack over his sudden affection that led me to have a stay at home from school one day. This went away after a time, but for a short while, puking before my early morning RP fuck was normal. Okay. I feel like that shouldn't be something, like if something's making you throw up, you've got to stop doing it, guys. Jeez. I can't believe that is a talk anyone would have to hear. Despite it never being official, it was a relationship and everyone knew it. I giddily told everyone after a podcast recording that Dave was returning my feelings according to Meta. I Don't doubt it. I was super excited. Sai hooked Dave, I up in Sims 3, and promptly married us to each other. Sai, oh god, Sim shipping. Sai would constantly. I don't know anybody who does that. Anyways, asks.
I just think of Elf.
Oh damn it, you dick! You didn't have to out Elf.
I love Elf. They do it with them and their boyfriend. It's cute.
Okay, anything that sounds remotely familiar to anything in here, I'm trying not to drag anyone else down. You had to do Elf dirty like that, anyways.
Elf is great. I'm sorry.
All right, fine. We were not, but the relationship ramped up so much, so quickly that Dave joked, "God, I want to get out of this call and just spend time with my girlfriend and stop reading this gay ass, weird, freaky pedo bullshit." Anyways,
I'm sorry, baby.
You know, I think we've gotten to the point where it's pretty obvious that Craigie and Saigai both groomed this kid.
Hun, there's still so much more. We have till 2014. Let's just give up.
Well, here's the other thing about that, though.
We'll
There's
come
things
back
that
with
came
the
out of this
shorter
kid's
version.
mouth that definitely make me want to talk to this kid. Because,
I mean, yeah, but there's also a lot of stuff that's been said here that makes me want to talk to Crikey Dave.
oh yeah, no, that too. I don't think innocent necessarily implies into it. Like, if the accusations against Crikey are fucking legit, obviously I'd like to rip into them.
Innocent or not, it's the adult's job to not hit on the kid. I don't care if the kid is, like, a fucking garbage human. I don't care if...
No, I got
Crikey
that.
Dave
I
molested
absolutely...
Scat. He's still in the wrong.
No, I get that, but the kid is the one insisting that there was a relationship there in Crikey Dave's case. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there and shit, but I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. And there's some really weird shit in this thing that I'd look to another person. Because this one's...
Rouge, is this the same person that Crikey drew porn of? You're the one who found this article.
Yeah.
Okay, alright, that's definitely
Okay,
enough.
so yeah, then...
Alright,
Crikey...
yeah. It's not the okay. It's certainly not the best fucking source ever, but yeah, that if Crikey drew porn of a kid and they knew it was a kid, no, not cool, not all right. Was it? Did she? God,
I know that it complicates things when the victim is not the best person.
Yeah.
But like, the truth is, Quirky Dave and Saigai tag teamed gaslighting this kid into being in a relationship with them. Like, from what they've described, they both flirted with her a lot and also refused to admit they were in a relationship. They sexually engaged with her through ERP a lot, but also refused to say that they were dating. So they constantly made this kid question her stability and her mental state. And that's what gaslighting is. It's when you make someone unsure of their reality, and that's what abusers do.
So, if you feel that one person is saying, I don't want to be in a relationship, and the other person winds up in the ERP, are you saying the other person's automatically an abuser?
No, I'm saying that if someone says, I don't want to be in a relationship with you, but I'll do everything that people in a relationship do with you.
If they had straight out come out and said friends with benefit, it would make more sense, but they didn't even do that. It was we know you have feelings and we're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say here is if it was a friends with benefit situation, then it would just be two guys sexually taking advantage of a minor. Okay. But there's more to that here. There's a pattern of gaslighting and abuse. They're messing with her head consistently. And that makes it even worse because it means that it wasn't just about sex. It was about asserting power over this literal child.
There's a couple, again, I'm willing to assume this guy fucked up here, but you're making an assumption that basically Sai and the other guy like tag teamed this, like they had like a coordinated effort. I have no evidence of that.
Yeah, I'm making an assumption.
Yes, that's. I mean, it's possible. It is highly possible they said, okay, it's your turn to dick them around to do this. It's really easy to make believe that the people that you don't like are all coordinated or all on the same damn page. But it isn't always the case.
Like Jess just said, they might have just both been grooming the same kid at the same time. Like, and that's a perfectly reasonable assumption to make. But also, I hate this guy. I hate these guys just enough to make that assumption.
Yeah, and again, here's my thought, and I understand why, for example, Sheldon's a bit more... Why so many other people... I said this to Donut, which, again, that call's coming out. Enough people hate Vita, for example. Right? Like, a lot.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yes, a lot. If it were simply a matter of someone being hated enough... And Donut's response was, well, he has a whole group of people protecting him. And I'm like, if there were something true enough, something would have leaked through. Again, I've been able to cite a couple of times where he's kind of poked around 17-year-olds. I don't go after it hardcore because I feel that a 17-year-old is informed enough. That's my thought. I wouldn't do it myself. I don't feel that someone's going to snap through and have an epiphany after they turn 18. I strongly discourage it. I don't feel that these people got railroaded as popular as they were, and so many people just suddenly hated them. If that happened, it would happen to fucking people who are more despised on a regular basis. That's my thought.
And that's fair.
Yeah.
But for me, with the way this looks, to me, as a conspiracy fucker, like, this looks too disturbing to not be... Like, even if they didn't team up, both of them knew they were grooming this kid. Especially Crikey Dave. Because he literally drew hypno porn of this kid's OC. Like, he made porn of this... of a representation of this kid. Knowing that she was a minor.
The only way I could possibly do this, and you'd still be able to tear this apart pretty easy... Again, I'm just trying to play devil's advocate at this point. Is it possible that Cy or Crikey Dave are hitting on so many girls they weren't paying attention anymore? And yes, that's not an excuse. That's the best way I could even spin it.
Yeah, no, that's...
Literally that's still pretty shitty, isn't it? Wow. Yeah.
It is the responsibility of the adults to not perv on children, and that's what I'll always say.
Yeah, the story checks out. So again, doors open to talk to either Cy or Crikey Dave. I've linked this whole article down below. Not saying it's perfect. There's certainly enough other stories and accusations on there. If people reserve the right to doubt, I have my concerns both ways. But yeah, I'm prepared to put it out there and let people make up their own mind in that case.
It's definitely a problematic witness, but I'm pretty sure that the porn secures here that at the very least, Crikey did something super fucked up with a kid.
Yeah. Be that as it may. Thank you, everybody. I could definitely use a break after this. Holy shit.
Yeah.